Listen to the Vibes.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Listen to the Vibes. And I have to say, I'm very happy to welcome Mr. Nico Lagan here with me today. You are a podcaster. You're a men's coach. You instruct martial arts, and you're an author as well.
Yeah, man, I just published my first book. Actually, the ebook is done. The narrator has done his job. I'm just waiting. I just need to confirm with Amazon because I just got the, how do you call it? Like the editor copy. Like you can tell, like there's a stripe on it. I just approved it. So it should be released within the next few days.
Oh, nice. So I'm gonna have to get that link from you so my audience
Absolutely.
can go buy the book. But
Absolutely.
man, tell us a little bit about yourself and about your journey.
Oh boy, that is a long answer right there. I don't know what I would call myself when it comes to what I do because I was sales engineer for a large corporation in Canada. Where I worked in the corporate world for 20 years, 12 years as a sales engineer, so high-end sales, and I retired. Well, I stopped about 6 months ago. I worked for the past 3 years to start my businesses and to do it full time. So yeah, about 6 months ago, my girlfriend and I left Canada. We've been in an RV traveling the US ever since. We are in Yuma, Arizona right now, and we've traveled, man, we've done a lot of places. Like we really did some good traveling, but yeah, I'm running a few businesses from the back of the RV. I work, I do most of the stuff online. Like I create a lot of content, especially for men. I don't know if a man's right is what I actually go for. I would say it's more, I want to bring a more traditional men back. I want to bring the essence of a traditional man and woman back to the equation because I believe that it is one of the biggest problems that we have right now is our men are not manly, our women are masculine, and we wonder why it's not working out. We wonder why relationships are down the drain. We All I want is to help men become better, get hopefully be the mentor that they did not have growing up, just the way that I didn't have a father when I was in my teens growing up either. So yeah, I'm just hoping this is all my goal. I just want to help men be better. I want men to know that it's okay to be masculine, that there's nothing shameful about being manly. On the contrary, it should be embraced. As we were talking about before we started recording, I want to be able to help men get their voice back because everything that's going on right now, good men have let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
We've been minding our own business for so long that the children that are the men children that are out there running the show now have been going on unpunished for too long. They haven't had consequences to their comments, to their way of living. And it's our fault. Like I said, it's we've let it go. We didn't want to we minded our own business. We just wanted to do our thing. But now the pendulum swung to the side where most left-leaning ideologies are having a lot of power in the media, in politics, in all spheres of life. And it's time for good men that are normally more in the center somewhere to bring it back, to just say, you know what, enough. Let's be men again and let's be proud to be men again. Let's embrace our masculinity and start treating those left leaning, I'll say it, left leaning feminine men like the children that they are, and let's be the responsible father. Let's say it that way. So yeah,
No, that's
this
right.
is what I'm trying to do.
I spent a lot of my time at my grandparents' house. And my grandfather he's the one that instilled in me the beliefs that I have today.
Mm,
You know, he didn't curse in front of me. I'm not saying he didn't curse, but he didn't do it in front of me.
sure.
And so I respected him enough that I didn't curse in front of him.
Yep.
He disciplined me, and I'm gonna tell you what, he whooped me one time, and I stress one time. I talked back to him, and he got out a paddle, and he turned my butt red. Let's put it that
Yep.
way. And it hurt my feelings more than it hurt my butt.
Yep.
And so I paid attention to his every move. He worked hard. He took very good care of my grandmother. He made sure the house was, anything got broke, he immediately fixed it. He took care of everything. And mind you, my grandfather he had been paralyzed from the waist down, and he still taught himself to walk again.
Yep.
And even though he stumbled, he still walked. He still worked around the house. He built stuff out of wood. He sold it. And
No excuses.
there was no excuses. And I also watched how he treated my grandmother, which
Mm.
was with very much respect. You didn't talk back to grandma. Um, you never disrespected grandma, but grandma also took care of the house. The house was always clean. The meals were always on the table, and she took care of my grandfather, the things that he couldn't do. And I
Yep.
said, that's the relationship that I want to have. And I was fortunate enough that the second go around, my wife that I have now, I see us growing old like that too. And it
It's
seems to be they put shame on that. Why?
it's a good question because it is one of the subjects that I speak about all the time. How you need to stop choosing a woman with your penis and you need to start using your head because
Mm-hmm.
loving someone is something that you do every day. We've been sold the idea by Disney that you fall in love and you only have one person that you can love throughout your life. No, there's 8 billions of us. There's a lot of people that you can make a life together, that you can make a life with, but you choose on a daily basis to love that person, to work at it, to decide that this is where you want to be and this is where you're going to continue to be. So this is why it's so important to be choosing our partners on our common values. Make sure you understand what your values are as a man, and then choose a woman that her values
Mm-hmm.
align with yours. Because for the people out there that believe that men and women are equal in the sense of the law, it is very wrong. We were talking about this before we started the podcast that if you look at the court system, you look at the family law, women have most of the rights.
Yep.
We as men, especially if you have kids with them, you don't have a lot of rights if she decides to leave you, which 70 to 90% of marriages are ended by women, depending on their education level. So if they're college, university level educated, it's 90%. If it's a high school educated, it's 70%, but 70 to 90% of divorces are started by women. They get 90% of the custody of the children. So the ball is not in our favor. And
Right.
we are really in a situation where it's more important than ever because values nowadays are almost non-existent. Like look at the way young women are. There's not even older women. Like we really have there's gender roles. Let's not lie to each other for the people out there that believe that there's no gender roles. You need to really look at history. You need to stop believing what your teachers have told you in school. And there are gender roles. I'm bigger, I'm
Mm-hmm.
stronger, I'm more aggressive. I take
Yep.
more risks as a man. Wouldn't it make sense that I'm the protector? Wouldn't it make sense that I'd be the provider if I'm ready to take more risks? In the
Yep.
same way as you described your grandfather and your grandmother, my girlfriend is first generation Italian, so she comes from a more traditional family. She One of the reasons we are together is exactly because of that. Is she believes that I should be the man of the family, I should be
Mm-hmm.
the rock of the family, but she is the glue that's going to keep it together. She
Mm-hmm.
is the person that's going to care, that's going to be compassionate, that's going to be empathic towards other people. She's the one that's
Yep.
going to take care of people, because at the end of the day, that's what women do. That's what they're good at. And the statistics will show you. I think you're 3 to 4 times more prone. A woman is already, as a general rule of thumb, a woman is 3 to 4 times more prone than a man to be depressing, like to have a depression. And as they grow older, the women that do not have kids in their 30s are one of the highest rates of depression. You can
Mm-hmm.
literally say that it's 2 or 3 times higher than a woman that has kids. So don't tell me that women are not meant to care. They're not meant to have children. They're not meant to care for a family, when the data will show it to you that women in their 30s that do not have kids are 3 times more depressed than regular women, than mothers.
Right.
The statistics shows it to you. They were meant to care.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason today, we think it's a bad thing.
Right. Well, I mean, if you look at it, men, when it comes to making decisions, are very analytical.
Yep,
You know,
absolutely.
we
Logical.
we or yeah, we use logic,
Yep.
whereas a woman will use her feelings. This is
100%. Yeah.
and the combination of the two, you can come up with a good decision.
Yep. You're supposed to lead.
Right.
Leading is leading. It doesn't matter that it's with your couple or it is leading an army of men. That's
Mm-hmm.
what men do. Men inspire and they lead.
Yep.
It's again, it's something that has been a simple truth for thousands of years. And now we believe that women and men are the same, that somehow we're not different, that everything that a woman is, a man can be, and a man, whatever a woman is, a man can be. It's like men and women now are interchangeable.
Yeah, that's not the way it's supposed to be.
No, but it's absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely, absolutely ludicrous. It all comes down to how you live your nature. If by nature you are a more manly man, so be it. Learn to control your aggressivity, because
Mm-hmm.
we are capable of atrocities as men. If you do not control your emotions, if you're not a tempered individual, or at least on the path to becoming tempered, you are dangerous. You're like dealing with dynamite. It's plagued my life. I am an angry person, but every day I make a decision to try to do my best to try not to be angry. But it is something that I will battle for the rest of my life.
Well,
And it's okay. It's okay
yeah.
to have vices like that. That it makes you aware. It makes you who you are. It's not supposed to be easy to be a good man. A good man is hard,
Right. That's right.
but it's it's just astonishing that we've depolarized relationship between men and women to a point where we're the same, and we wonder why we're unhappy. We wonder why relationships don't work. We're supposed to complement each other, not to be the same. What's the
Exactly.
point of being a relation? I don't need somebody to be happy. I don't need to be in a relationship to be happy. So if I decide to be in a relationship, it's because that person is bringing something to the equation
Yep.
that I don't have. They're bringing something to make that relationship, to make my life better, and
Mm-hmm.
vice versa. I expect to be doing the same to them. But we're really in a situation where we're the same, or men are becoming more masculine now. Sorry, women are becoming more masculine, men are becoming more feminine,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not real. If it is in your nature to be a man but you're more feminine, so be it. You'll find a woman that is more masculine, in the same way as same-sex couple do. You look at two lesbians, there is one of them that's manly, and
Yep.
there's one of them that's very feminine. And same way with two dudes, there's always a
Mm-hmm.
more masculine dude that if you didn't know he was gay, you'd be like, there's no way that guy's gay. And then you have the other guy that's more feminine, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's all about energy. We deny our energies now. It's like
Yeah.
me as a aggressive person, I should stop being so aggressive and I should stop being so manly because I'm toxic. No, the the people that are toxic are the people that are not in control of themselves.
Exactly.
You know the expression that says that if you think that a strong man is dangerous, wait till you see what a weak man is capable of.
Mm-hmm. Well, if you, I don't know if you read the Bible or spiritual,
Sure. Yeah.
but
Yep.
I don't ever remember God saying that you can't be angry, but he
No.
says be slow to anger.
Yep.
And think about what you're going to do. That's why you don't snatch up a kid and start beating them right off the bat. You need
No.
to take a moment, think about the situation before you punish a child.
Eh,
Otherwise, you're going to lose
Yep.
control.
And it's about. That's why I like to say that I am angry. I am an angry person, and it has plagued my life. I've destroyed relationships. I've got in fights. I got in a lot of trouble
Mm,
through fighting because I was letting my anger take over.
yeah.
I'm less angry than I used to be. I'm just way better at controlling it. But how many times, most days I would kill somebody. Like it's an exaggeration, obviously, but most days if I listen to myself, I would seriously hurt people. Probably more than one. So as you said, there's nothing in the Bible that says that I cannot feel angry. But there's a difference between how I feel on the inside
Mm-hmm.
and the action that I take on the outside world.
Just think if a man he lived his life just by his feelings alone,
Yep,
you'd be in prison or dead.
100%. You know, I always think about Bill Burr. Do you like Bill Burr?
Oh yeah, I like that guy. He's funny.
Oh yeah, and he doesn't care. Like he will say stuff that are definitely not politically correct. And one of his old skit, he talks about how there's I don't remember exactly how he presents it, but he goes into it saying there's no reason to ever want to hit a woman. He's like, okay, hold on here. I'm not saying that we should, but I can give you thousands of reasons to hit a woman. I'm not saying we should, but if you're looking for a reason, I can give you a lot of them. And but that's what it comes down. That's what it comes down to. It's really yes, you feel like doing something, but you have emotional control to say I will not because I
Mm-hmm.
know better. Because this would mean that I am easily controlled. See, this is one thing that people never talk about. If you're easily angered, that means like imagine I always give this example. So imagine me as a guy that's been doing martial arts for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like you as a person. I just show up to you and I start calling your mother a mother the H word. Like let's say that your mother's promiscuous. Let's say that I can start insulting your mother knowing that you're going to do something to me, then it's self-defense. I get to break you. Just because I insulted you with words, you lost control. You didn't understand that it was a trap, and then I get to break you in half because that's how the law works.
Mm-hmm.
If you are easy to anger, you are easy to control. Anybody
Yep.
that's somewhat intelligent can make you do things that it will look like it's out of your control because you have no control over yourself.
Exactly. You know, what I'm sick of is if you are a masculine guy who likes to go hunting, you like shooting your guns or you love football and all the things that seem to be associated with men, you're
Yep.
considered to be toxic.
Yeah, of
And
course.
I'm so sick of hearing that term. And you're called a sexist and all these other words. All these labels, to me, they're losing their power because they just use them every day and it doesn't mean anything anymore. Because you just call somebody something just because.
you know, we talked about this again before the podcast. It's all the feminists out there are very feminists until they need a real man to do something.
Mm-hmm.
When when somebody is in your house and you need that person out, who do you call? A strong man with a gun. When your house is on fire, who do you call? A strong man that's ready to die in order to get you out of that fire. When you need somebody to fix your car, you're calling a dude to fix it. When you need somebody to fix your roof, to fix your asphalt, who do you call? A man. Who all the people that takes cares of the infrastructure. When's the last time you saw a bunch of women pouring concrete or pouring asphalt at 100 Fahrenheit outside? Never. You'll never see it. Who is it? It's men. It's good men that are doing their job in order to provide for their families. But unfortunately, we take those for granted, and it's like they don't exist because we're so far disconnected from, I met this guy on one of my podcasts. His name is Justin Garcia, and he has this analogy where he compares the world that we live in to an aquarium. So the people in the society are all the fishes inside that aquarium, but they fail to understand that that aquarium is managed by people. There are people that are cleaning that glass. There's people that are putting food in it to make sure that the pet temperature of the water is great, to make sure that they separate people that don't agree, that don't get along, so that they don't kill each other. But the aquarium is fake. The aquarium is not real. The aquarium simply exists because a bunch of people decided that this is the rules that we will play under. This is the rules of our society. But at the end of the day, it's always men, good men that are ready to sacrifice their lives, sacrifice their time, that sacrifice their livelihood in order to provide for people. And now we're in a society where weak men and privileged women get to deny the existence or even call them toxic, when they don't even realize that the only reason they're capable of living the lifestyle that they live right now is because people have died, especially good men have died to build this society. Good men are being taken for granted to this day in order to maintain that society. And the worst part of it is that most of the dangerous job that men do, women could do it. But where are they? They never ask to do all those dangerous jobs. They don't ask to. 95% of dangerous jobs are done by men. None of them with today's technology, most of them, let's not say none, but most of them could be done by women, no problem today. Where are they? Where is the outrage that 95% of dangerous jobs are done by men? Where are those feminists always calling for equality? Get into those jobs. Go get into that pit. Go get into that mine. Go start picking up the garbage. Let's do those asphalt. Make sure you're the one building the infrastructure that you're using on a daily basis. No complaints about that, but they will complain if, oh, did you know that 90% of people studying engineering are men? Okay, sure. We're logical. We like things. We like fixing problem with our heads. 86% of women, 86% of nurses are women. 70% right now at University of Ottawa, 70% of students in medicine, no matter what it is, are women. Nobody's outraged by that. You know what? It makes sense. Women are more compassionate. They're more empathic. They love people more. Don't you want that from a doctor? If I'm sick, I would love for my doctor to feel for me and want to help me. You know what? To me, it makes a lot of sense. But yet, nobody's outraged about that, but it's aligned with their nature. As doing dangerous jobs is aligned with the nature of men. But
of course, I'm not real thrilled about a woman giving me a prostate exam, but you know.
You know what? I think I'd rather a woman than a guy.
Well, yeah, I guess you're right.
As long as she doesn't have nails. It all depends on the length of her nails, I guess. Yeah, but I'd rather a woman than a guy. She's probably more gentle somehow. I would like to believe, at least.
Most of my career has been in a construction type job.
Sure.
Surrounded
by men.
Most of that time was utilities. All right.
Sure.
Now, there was a very small exception of women that ever worked in what I did. But when I
Sure.
worked utilities, I worked the water and the sewer.
Sure.
And there was a time where I literally had to be in crap up
Yeah,
to my shoulders.
of course.
Is anyone breaking down the doors to take
No,
that job?
no,
That's a woman.
no, of course not. There's a reason why 95% of dangerous jobs are done by men,
Mhm.
because we are men. As I said, we're bigger, we're stronger, we're more aggressive, we'll take more risks. We want to provide. We take pride in providing for our family. If you can give us, I say this all the time, but without purpose, a man's life is meaningless. And most of the men out there, their purpose is to take care of their families, is to take care of their loved ones. And they
Mhm.
will do whatever it takes in order to get that done, even if it means to be in crap up to their shoulders,
Yep.
because that's what a man
Uh-huh.
does.
Do
That
you
is
know
our purpose. That's what we do.
do you know how many guys that I've known in my life that between 6 months to a year after retiring
Yep,
that they died?
100%, because they don't have purpose anymore. They don't have
They,
a reason for living.
they, thank you. And I was telling you
Yep,
my situation before we started,
yep,
why I am so enthusiastic about trying to get this podcast
yep,
off the ground.
100%.
I don't want to be that guy that's just laying on the couch and withering away.
What's the
Uh,
point?
what's the point? You know?
Why live? At that point, why live? Why not just get a nine
Thank you.
millimeter and just shoot yourself in the back of the head? What's the point? If you're going to spend your days accomplishing nothing, not helping people, not becoming better, what's the point? What is the point?
I mean,
You probably would, this is going to sound bad, but you would probably do all of us a favor. If you don't want to be here, don't.
yeah,
Like seriously, you have to take responsibilities for your actions. You have to own your reactions. You have to control your emotions. You have to know that you are responsible. You know, if your life sucks, chances are it's your fault.
of course. And
It's
don't give me
all
that you're the way or where you were born and that you were poor and all this stuff. You make that decision. You can if you there's a will, there's a way.
you are not you do not choose the hands you're dealt, but you definitely choose how to play them.
And you might have a few more hurdles than someone else to get where you need to go.
100%, but that will make you tougher, because sufferance is pain, and suffering are the best teachers. There's just so you're not going to learn much from joy, but you're going to learn a lot from pain.
Yeah, that ain't no lie. You definitely learn not to touch that hot stove again once you touched it that first time.
Yup. Yup. It is just like your grandfather. He only had to smack you once.
Yes.
And how often have I thought about this, where imagine all those weak individuals out there if there were actual consequences to their actions. You know how many times online I've been called names, um I've been called by weak people. I've been told that they would kick my ass, that they would hurt me, and I'm like, bro, I'm 205 pounds of muscle. I've been doing this for more than 20 years. I was bullied for a long time. You don't worry
Mm.
me at all. We get guys like you at the gym from the first day on. We show them how tough they actually are, and that ego gets checked right away. If the only reason you can be the way those people are is because they've never got beaten. Because as soon as you go to a place where men are men, like go to a martial art gym, try to act tough. Try to
Hmm.
start pushing people around and try to be king when you're not trained. You're going to learn extremely fast that you're not that tough. You're definitely not that knowledgeable, that there are killers out there, bro. And but this is what we need. What your grandfather did with you is what us as good men need to start to doing to people. We catch somebody misbehaving, smack him a couple of times and show him that there's consequences. You don't even need to beat him up. Just show him how childlike he is, how much of how non-threatening he is, so that he understands that, you know what? Act like a child, I'll treat you like one.
For any of y'all that decided to stay here after this conversation, I want to say thank you so very much. And if you are new to the channel, thank you for that, but I hope you'll come back. Hit that subscribe button. For my regulars, I appreciate y'all because you make it possible for me to do this. So until the next one, everyone, please take care. Be kind to one another. God bless and peace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Listen to the Vibes. You can catch us on Buzzsprout or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at The Vibes Broadcast Network